I'm Paul Rambo. I'm a father. I'm a husband. I'm an entrepreneur. I'm a barber. I got into barbering at a young age. I started when I was 12. Grew up kind of poor, needed a way to make money. I was very artistic. My way of monetizing art was through barbering. I knew early on that that's what I was going to do as a career. And by the time I was 18, I was in a shop. Being a barber has presented opportunities for God to move through me in a lot of different ways. He establishes relationships, connections that I never thought that I could have. And a lot of the times he uses it by placing the right person in my chair for me to make that connection with and to grow with. For a decent majority of my life, I was chasing after things that weren't filling me. I was like a human dumpster, to be honest with you. I was consuming everything, drugs, alcohol, gambling, like anything that I can consume that was bad for me. I was filling myself with it nonstop, and I was empty all the time. I was constantly trying to progress in ways that didn't fill me, going after the glitter and gold and not substance. I fell into my addiction at a super young age. My dad was a meth cook. From the age of probably 5, 6 on, I knew what drugs were. Drugs kind of took over around 14, 15. When you grow up and you don't have a lot of money and you find ways to make money, you kind of just do that. We find ways to make money. We found ways to survive. And from a young age, I was selling drugs. I was dealing drugs. I was doing them. And it just became part of my everyday life. I really fell into some deep cycles of wrong decision making, and I was chasing money. The drugs started being able to be that cushion, that place that I could go to in my own little world where I was in control of it. At least I thought I was in control of it. Things got really rough for me around 2014. At that time, my wife was pregnant with my second child. I was scared to death that I wasn't going to be able to provide enough in the situation that I was in at the time. I was working an 8-hour day. I was rehabbing a house. I was trying to be a dad, and I was trying to be a husband all at the same time. I was trying to be all these things and wear all these hats at one time, and I really just, I couldn't keep up with it. And that's when I really started spiraling more and more. I started doing more and more drugs to keep going for longer periods of time. I left my family, and I was living in the barbershop, and I was living in the basement on a dirt floor. I actually broke down that I'd give up anything and everything for what I wanted in the end. And what happened was I gave up everything that I didn't need to give up. And the only thing that I was supposed to give up was the drugs. You know, I lied to my wife. I said I was going to rehab. I didn't. I was hiding at a friend's house. We were driving to make a drug deal, and I got pulled over. And the cop behind us had a dog in the car. So I had to consume the drugs. I knew when I was taking those drugs into my system that there was a chance that I wasn't going to survive. And I did it anyway. I had this period of time on the side of the road that changed my life forever, where I felt his presence overtake me. All these moments when I was down and out just kind of flashed before my eyes, and like somehow I made it through. I knew that I was going to make it through this one too. And it was only because God had me right there. He was holding me. I was high for the next 3 days straight. I wound up hiding down at the river, and I lived at the river for 3 days. On the third morning, I felt God move over me. I fell on my knees and I started praying. Something told me to jump in the water. And when I came out, I felt renewed. And within the next 5, 6 hours, I was in rehab. And I never went back. When you fully surrender and you give your heart to God and you let Him start molding it, He shows you where to take your next step. And then when you take that step, He shows you where to take the next one. And when you mess up, He doesn't leave your side. Since I surrendered, God has restored everything in my life and some. Things that I lost that I never thought I'd be able to get back, God has made a way for that. And He's helped me get them back. It's amazing how many aspects of my life have grown since making the decision. I didn't think I was worthy of having that relationship with God. I thought that I strayed too far. I thought I went too far. I thought I made too many bad decisions. But it's never too late. It's never too late to turn around. It's never too late to ask God for help, and God will always answer and always place the right people where they need to be for you to pull you out.